These are the conditions I'm living in. This is my car. I have to use the last of my gas to try to keep the electronics charged. I get $800 a month disability money, and let's see if I can find some of this stuff. I mean, I did have cops tried to diagnose me as schizophrenic, which is, first of all, against the law. The Message with Marcia Estrada, I recommend watching that one because she elaborates on my disabilities and my diagnoses, and it's definitely not what the cops tried telling the hospitals. Obviously, when I'm not rushed, I'm able to show stuff a little bit better. Look up Clearview Behavioral Health, 4770 Larimer Parkway, Johnstown, Colorado, please. They were in the news more than once. You got to make sure it's the right Clearview, because after Clearview was closed down, a lot of other stuff happened. I've got a lot of stuff written down. Obviously, this is the stuff to go through. Things, cops say when you try to turn in a cop. Why do you need a report? Just tell me. I'll tell you if it is illegal. I finally got the paperwork after literally years of trying to do this to get a police officer's body camera. Many of the places that I talk about have been in the news, but I've also got paperwork that shows that I've been to those places. Clearview is just one of them. I am trying to look for some of the other information here. Some of the other mental health professionals that I've seen that are recorded on my channel, as well as people who pretended to be friends or family, fake accounts, all sorts of different stuff. It's not just harassment on the internet, it's also in real life. And with that stuff over my head, no matter who harms me, it's just my word versus theirs unless somebody looks at the evidence. Esther Bradeen is one of the people here in Tillamook that was supposed to be a mandated reporter. All they did was send me around in circles. This lady, Dove Rainbow, somebody pretended to be her and was trying to contact me and solicit me for information. I deal with a lot of people doing this stuff. There's also Dr. Danelle Boggs, and conversations with her on there as well. And what they do is they basically bounce you back and forth between one place and the other, each one of them telling you that it's not their job to investigate, it's the police's job, and then they just rob you for more money. This is my passenger seat. I try to use this thing. I have to buy stuff like this to keep stuff like this charged. I've got a computer buried under it somewhere. I got a bunch of stuff in the back here. I'm having to use a cane again, and it's not looking like I'm going to be coming off of the cane anytime soon. I don't have any guns or anything in here. Most of my stuff is up in the mountains. I had to try to find a way to keep it safe, so I had to pay somebody to help me carry it. I couldn't carry it myself, obviously, and that turned into a whole bunch of abuse. Let me see. This isn't it. This is it. This is my health paperwork, and it's pretty important. When I go to mandated reporters that are not the cops, these mental health workers, I keep pushing the fact that I need them to do their jobs as mandated reporters. They keep wanting my disability paperwork, and you know what? I got to have a steady address to do that, but I also have to be in an area where I don't have to be afraid of the police or the local population, because I'm stuck out here homeless trying to do this. I have to be afraid that I'm going to be discriminated against because I'm a male if somebody victimizes me like Vicky Rain did. Now here it explains, hello, Sean Schwartz. We are sending this letter to tell you about changes to medical benefits on your case. We are here if you need help understanding your benefits and what they mean for you. One Customer Care Service Center. I need someone to call that number with me. Office of Developmental Disability Services, ODDS. Somebody needs to call that with me. 24-hour nurse advice line. Now, the thing is that the stuff that I have to turn into the police, they're ignoring by calling me disabled. When they call me mentally ill, that's what they're calling me. But they're not following the rights and rules and regulations of someone who's disabled. They just pretend like I'm schizophrenic. Now, you got to see the stuff from Marcia Estrada. There's also a video with her that talks about many of my predators elsewhere. I mean, everywhere I go, I have to start over with piles and piles of paperwork. I have 15 piles of paperwork like this. Health stuff, all stuff I got to go through. But see, if you are disabled, there's a bunch of paperwork that I have for that we're supposed to go through. That basically, here it shows they considered me here in Oregon starting at 3/1/2023. Before that, I was out of Nebraska who did this. So, I mean, I've been disabled this entire time. But people are ignoring the disabilities. They're pretending that I'm schizophrenic. And that's just not okay. That resulted in Natalie Bollinger getting her brains blown out. And she was my best friend. Matter of fact, her and Maddie Bowe were my only friends there for a while. It also has this hearing rights stuff. My physical disability stuff I didn't get. I mean, I did get it. I still get it. But it's the fact that I have both types of disabilities, and Oregon wanted to change it from being physical disability to mental disability. And, either way, it's supposedly fine, but the thing is, they're denying me my rights as a human being because of it. Meanwhile, I have to use a cane to walk. My shoulder is messed up. My wrist is messed up from assaults. My back is screwed up. And I've got the paperwork on that. But, I get frustrated having to go through this stuff. Having all my stuff up in the mountains, I don't have the money to get it out. I can't physically carry it. I can't afford the gas to keep going to all of these appointments to places that are just shipping me to other places and telling me to move. I mean, it's not easy. When I get out of the vehicle, it's pretty easy. Watch how I get out of the vehicle. I just kind of kick my foot over it. And because I'm sitting on the seat, it helps to muffle it so it don't hurt as bad. Then I grab a hold of the steering wheel and I turn sideways. And then I can kind of move my leg. If it doesn't want to, then I do that. Just grab a hold of it. How do I get it back in? Now, mind you, I can walk. I can lift up my foot a bit. I'm capable of doing that, just not much. I got to grab them both and I got to put them in manually. When I step over a curb, it sucks. Then I do this because I have Tourette syndrome. And I do this because I have Tourette syndrome. And I go, because I'm autistic and overwhelmed. Sometimes I go, but people don't know enough about autism. So I've got mental health workers that are recorded literally laughing at me. Or getting angry at me. For doing that. They should know that I'm overwhelmed when that happens. Meanwhile, by calling me mentally ill, somebody has to look at the evidence and verify I'm telling the truth. I can send you all my court stuff. I just need people to speak up. I need them to show me their Jesus. Now, if you look in here, I got all this stuff on the top. I can't hardly go anywhere. If I walk, my legs freeze up, so I have to walk. Okay? I got a handy cane here, which is great. Great, because I can use it for walking. And you can see I can walk pretty fast. But both of my legs are messed up. Try to show that. I can walk pretty fast as long as I don't step too hard. But again, That's my car. My passenger window is busted out. Everything that I need to clear my name is in that vehicle. I'm not able to get disability, the housing, because in Chapel, Nebraska, when I was being abused, the cops, just like here, didn't want to do anything. In Chapel, people remembered me some of them from going to high school together, some of them because I used to babysit them. Sometimes I can get my leg in here, I can just kick it up real hard and get it in, but if I do, it usually hits this. And that's like a knee-jerk reaction in order to get it to do that. And some days it's worse than others. There's a lot of stuff that happens that, because I didn't have a friend or family member with me like I could have, they wanted to tell me to just go to the cops alone. You know, I had to at least try. Where's my hospital paperwork on my back? Is that in this pile? No. Anyway, people keep telling me to write it down. I do. I write everything down. Everything I possibly can, over and over again. You know, there's 15 bags of me writing stuff. That's just paper evidence. There's also the stuff like, there's a file here with Leslie Snell. And this one right here. And she's another one of my predators. This is the stuff that cops will say to you, or variants of it, if they're trying to BS you or push you off on someone else. Why do you need a report? Just tell me, I'll tell you if it's illegal. No, there's legal paperwork. I have the paperwork for it finally over there in the next county over. But, you know, I keep getting bullied from one county to the other. Let's see. Why do you need to make a report? Just tell me. I'll tell you if it's illegal. Or you need to leave. Or tell me what you did wrong. Or I'm about to arrest you. Or you are under arrest. Or we don't have paper reports. Or how do I know that isn't self-inflicted? Or stop resisting. Or I believe my officers. Or I'm not the one who did it. Or why are you telling me? Or have you been drinking? Or are you on drugs? Or do you have a history of mental illness? These are all things that are used to deprive us of our rights. And you don't understand how these are trick questions. Kind of like when you're sent to a mandated reporter, you're told, hey, you have to go to a mandated reporter if you don't have friends or family that are listening. You go to the mandated reporter and they have to do something. And then you go to the mandated reporter and they don't do anything because they're collecting money. The stuff with Leslie Snell. I can send you the stuff in emails or in Facebook Messenger that shows the messages between myself and Leslie Snell. But, I mean, there's a lot of different stuff in here from a lot of different people. In some places, I was only allowed to have crayon. They like to pretend like you're going to be some sort of a killer or something, you know. So I saved a bunch of the people that I was in contact with at the time. This is all during... let's see, that would have been, that would have been before I ended up, this would have been from Clearview, and this one as well. But they're phone numbers of people that were witnesses. They were a part of the situation. You know, there's a lot of that in here. Here's the information with Leslie Snell, trying to get a protection order against me. And how did she do that? Well, she pretended like she didn't have anything else going on with me in court. But the reality is that she was playing victim because, and I've done this on my channel a lot, I'm just digging through it to try to show you. I'm also going to send you the stuff that shows I was letting people know every step of the way. There's also a conversation with her husband's brother, just recorded on here. But I mean, there was 4 people I was trying to turn in: Leslie Snell, Scott Costa, who's the sheriff. God, hold on a second. William Barr. This is, let's see, this one I think is with William Barr. I was trying to turn in Scott DaCosta, William Barr, Robert Franklin Warnick, and Leslie Snell. Leslie Snell, in order to get the protection order, had to, well, because she worked for the sheriff, she had to put her name on all of these other pieces of paper in order to make sure that I would be in prison, literally in prison, charged with misdemeanors, that they had to drop the charges on every single one of them. See this one right here, Leslie Snell, Notary Public. Right there, Scott DaCosta. Now the evidence that I tried to turn them in ahead of time is all over the place. I mean, it's not difficult to realize that I post everything on YouTube and Facebook. I'm looking for the other paperwork, because in all of these cases, she had her name all over it, and so did Scott DaCosta. There's also names of other people in here that have been in the news as well. So, I mean, that's pretty important. Oh, sorry, I wasn't pointing it at it. But I'm trying to find all the ones with Leslie Snell's signature. Here's another one with Leslie Snell's signature and the Notary Public, Dual County Sheriff's Department. I tried to turn in the people that I was supposed to. When you're forced to turn in Dual County Sheriff Scott DaCosta, it doesn't work out too good. All right, that's 3 of them. Let me see the rest of them. There's even more in here. There's also Joan Hanson. I've got recordings with them, also with the threats and harassment against my sister. Like, it's been a heck of a chore. Anyway, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to dig through real great, but I hope you understand. Like, this is what I live in. I gotta live on $822 a month. Well, most of it goes into making sure that my vehicle runs. Well, this door, I can't close it or it won't open because the handle's broken. That window right there is a piece of plastic. Officers refuse to do their jobs, and they keep changing the rules. They won't investigate crimes against homeless people. And because of that, I've been harmed repeatedly over public opinion. I wish there was more time to show you more of it that I have in here, but the thing is, I've been abused at Tillamook Community Health Center, or Tillamook County Community Health Center. I've been abused at TFCC, and I've also got recordings with a lot of the other people in the area who've had to go to these services and been bullied. I'm trying the best that I can, but most of the stuff I need to do on a computer. Meanwhile, my computer only works if it's plugged into the wall. I keep getting told that I have to do everything electronically. The only time they really want me to come in person is if they're going to arrest me. Obviously, I'm not schizophrenic. I'm overwhelmed. So I'm going to try to send you as much as I can, and I'm sorry this is 20 minutes long instead of 10. I mean, that's my bathroom right there. Some days I can't get out of here to go to the bathroom. And then, of course, when they're setting me up to go to all these different mental health places that aren't helping to turn in these criminals are harming me even more because I'm having to stay in the area in order to try to get those services. Well, the cops won't do anything, and the services they send me to tell me it's the cops' job, and the cops tell me it's their job, just back and forth, back and forth.